Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of ProSulum.com and FreedomIn5Minutes.com, and here we are yet again with another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast episode. Today's topic is this: frameworks help you make amazingly fast decisions. That and more coming up. All right, cool. So another podcast. This is great. I just dropped off my kids and my family at a homeschooling party. They are having a blast. It's fantastic. Okay. So this is going to be another sort of chapter in the book that's coming up. So if you don't want to pay for the audiobook when it comes out, here you go. Once again, I'm having this baby transcribed and written and edited and everything like that by my wonderful friend Tara over at from wordstopages.com or speakyourbook.co. I don't know which one it is yet. I need to talk to her. I actually talked to her today, and she kicked me in the butt and told me to give her extra the rest of the chapters for the book that I'm writing. All right, so this is one of those chapters. The question that I get quite a bit when it comes to making quick decisions is, well, Dean, what if I start making these quick decisions? Oh my gosh, I'm afraid. Like I'm not doing any research. I'm not doing all of my due diligence and all of that stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh my gosh. Well, here's the deal. Don't you worry your silly little head. A lot of the times, so a little 5-minute decisions. The whole idea behind this book about making 5-minute decisions is a little bit hyperbolic. Okay, should you just as soon as someone tries to start selling you on something, should you make a decision to buy it in 5 minutes? If you go and you're looking at a bunch of different houses for your next dream house and you're on 1 out of 5, should you just in 5 minutes say yes or no on this one house? No, you should take the time. You should do your due diligence, but when it comes down to it, one of the best things you can do is actually have a framework for making decisions. Because there comes a point in time when you have done the research that you need to do, you've talked to the people that you need to talk to, you've spoken with your spouse or a confidant, and you have all of the information you need to make a decision, but you don't make the actual decision because of analysis paralysis. So what helps in that is actually having a framework in order to make a decision. So I'm going to give you an example here's an example of one of my frameworks that helps me to make very quick decisions and, without having to do a lot of research, without having to get into analysis paralysis. So I've been married for about 13 years now. 13? Yeah. Don't tell my wife if I forgot how long we were married. Yeah. I've been married for 13 years now. For a good part of my marriage, I would say for the first 12 years, I would make a lot of the decisions on my own. And when it came to the feelings of my wife, I would generally butt heads with her, and I would challenge her when it came to how she felt about certain financial situations or financial decisions. Well, lo and behold, a lot of the times I would find that her intuition was actually correct. That while I thought I was the king of economic and financial and business decisions, her natural intuition when it came to buying certain products or certain courses or services tended to be more right than my skill set when it came to making those particular decisions. And so one of the quick things that I had to decide was based off of that data that I was getting from my wife and the results of my decisions when I listened to her versus when I did not listen to her, was to develop a framework that really took into account her feelings, emotions, and her thoughts about whatever it is that I was going to, whatever the endeavor was that I was going to pursue. Well, about a week ago, I went to WarriorCon 3, and I was faced with two decisions. One was to attend what was called Warrior Week. Now, this was a huge financial decision, but it would reap a lot of internal mind-shifting benefits for me. Things that I felt like I was called to do. I really felt like it was something that I wanted to do and I was called to do. And I had been thinking about it for a long time. I talked to my wife about it, and I just let it simmer for a while. But I felt like this was the time to actually make a decision on it. I also had another decision to make, and this was based more around finances. So I have several investment properties around the United States, and those investment properties are all under different mortgages. Well, one of my financial advisors advised me on getting a home equity line of credit, or a HELOC, HELOC, on my primary house, and use that HELOC to put all of my other houses, including my mortgage, under that one home equity line of credit. And it would allow me to do things such as pay off one of my real estate investments, one of my houses there, which would give me more cash flow, and would allow me to snowball all of that into my other houses. Well, one of the frameworks that I developed prior to all of this was that, you know what, I'm listening to my wife. When my wife has an intuition about something, my framework is so that I don't have to think about it, that I don't have to run with it and start doing a ton of research with something. If my wife has a very bad feeling or a very good feeling, I'm going to generally listen to it. Now, I can generally tell if it's something where she literally doesn't understand anything about it, and she'll tell me that, I just don't know. But when she has a natural feeling, it's been so spot on that for me, and this might not go for you, it might be some other type of framework. When she has a good or bad feeling about something, it's been so spot on that it is a extremely good indicator as to whether that decision is going to be a good decision or not. So I brought both of these situations to her as I was sitting at a restaurant during lunchtime at WarriorCon, and I brought the first one up to her, which was Warrior Week. Now, keep in mind, like I said, this was a very significant investment. It was going to be an investment of at least 5 figures, in order to move forward with this. Well, when I brought it up to her, she thought it was a great idea. She knew the cost of it. She knew why I was doing it. And she knew that it was going to have immense benefit for our family. It might not have the same for you. But for me at the time, this is what I felt called to do. And my wife, with her intuition, immediately confirmed that for me, given my framework, that if my wife has a really strong feeling about something, that I'm going, and I already have the plans to make the decision on it, yes or no, then I'm going to go with it. So she thought it was a fantastic decision and that it would benefit me and the family. And so I immediately said yes to that decision, no matter what the cost was. Even though I knew the cost was going to be a lot, and that it was going to be a stretch, and that it was also going to take me away from the family for a week, but benefit us in the long run. The second thing that I brought up, which was actually saving money and being able to have more money to invest, she had a really bad feeling about. Now, in the past, I would ignore that feeling. In the past, because I didn't have the framework of listening to my wife when she had a good feeling or a bad feeling about something, I would have ignored it. And often I wouldn't even have brought it up to her. I would have just done it and basically just did my own thing. And if it went well, great. If it didn't, well, I could always blame her I could always blame her anyway, because, she didn't stop me, or I didn't ask her, so she didn't give any feedback, things like that. And I would use some excuse. Well, she had a bad feeling about it, and because of that framework, I decided against it. And so all of the things that I had done prior to that to set up this home equity, this HELOC, basically I just stopped. Completely, 100%, boom, stopped. I did not have to try and make any other decisions. I didn't have to do any other research. I didn't have to do anything for either one of those, because part of my framework consisted of my wife's intuition. Now, whether you think that's good or bad, it doesn't matter. That is my framework for making a decision. Whether you think I'm an idiot for trusting my wife so much, or if you think I'm a genius, it doesn't matter. That is my framework. So why is this important? It's because you need to set up your own framework for making tough decisions. It might be asking your spouse. It might be asking your kids. It might be running it through a financial advisor, a lawyer, a tax attorney, whatever it might be. You need to have some kind of framework for these tough decisions, so that when you get to the point after you've done your research, where generally you would have analysis paralysis, you can very quickly make the decision to move forward or to back away. So right now, what framework could you have put in place right now to make tough decisions? Who could you confide in order to bring these decisions to somebody so that you can make these tough decisions relatively quickly and not have it in the back of your mind worrying about it constantly? What systems can you put in place that would make this framework work? Because sometimes it does not have to be a person. Maybe it has to be within a certain financial number. Maybe anything less than $1,000 for all of your investments is considered a yes, as long as they meet the investment meets certain criteria, or a no if it doesn't meet certain criteria. What is something you can put in place right now, for one thing, that would relieve a ton of stress and worry and analysis paralysis? I just want you to find that one thing. Think about that one framework that you can build very quickly and utilize that to make some pretty amazing, quick decisions that will have huge impacts in your life. All right, so this is Dean Soto, Freedom in 5 Minutes. Go check out freedomin5minutes.com. Also, check out prosulum.com, my virtual assistant agency, where you could do 5-minute videos. These virtual assistants will document that process. They'll create a framework for you. They'll create a system for you, document it step by step, and you'll never have to do that thing ever again. You show them in 5 minutes, they document it, and then they do it from then on. pretty amazing. All right, prosulum.com, prosulum.com, and freedomin5minutes.com. Go check those out, and I'll see you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes episode.